What's up, everybody? Brandon here. I know we just got back from Lions Den Live 2022. Just an amazing, powerful weekend. I know you guys are feeling the same way. I know my Texas Den, shout out to you guys, they're feeling the same way because we got some work to do. And this is it, starting with me right here, right now. This is my send it moment. We had some amazing Den members get up and tell their story. Tell their 5 minutes to change a life, to change the world. And this is what I want to do. This was my challenge to myself, was to start telling my story, start being transparent about my message. You know, growing up, in my entire life, I've always been the person that's been upbeat, been positive, the person that people would come to for advice. Go do this, go do that. I could tell them exactly what to go do. Their lives would be successful, and they would build this amazing world for themselves. All the while, mine was falling apart. Because I wouldn't take my own advice. I had so many different things happening in my mind that I didn't believe that was for me. I didn't believe that I was worthy enough to go do that stuff. And I'm not saying it was right, because it wasn't. It was absolutely wrong. But that's what I took on myself. In my life, I grew up in the church. And the church that I went to, right, everything you did was going to send you to hell. Absolutely everything. I love God. I love God. I hated that. But that's how I grew up. So on one side of my head, I've got all these expectations from the church. And somewhere along the way, I took on all these expectations from family. Now, my family never came out and said, go do this, go do that. Or or we won't love or accept you. But that's what I put on myself. I have to go do this to be loved and accepted by my family. So I've got the church expectations, I've got family expectations that I put on myself, and then I've got what Brandon wants to go do. So I've got 3 different paths happening in my head all at the same time, and it's a battle. It was a battle. And you can see through my life story, and I'm not going to get to all of it, but I would shift from one to another. I would go from one thing, getting out of high school, I went into the military. Family expectation. And after the military, which was a phenomenal time, there's lots of issues and things to talk about with that. But after that, I became a pastor. Why did I become a pastor? One, I love God. I love people. I love to serve. I love to speak the message. And that I believed that what Brandon wanted to do was not right to the church's eyes. So I had to become a pastor to make up for that. Again, back and forth on all these expectations and things that were happening in my mind. And going through my life, there was all these things. And what that caused me to do, and I did this to myself, but I froze. I look back on my life, and I see it from a distance. It's like I wasn't even the one living it. I'm looking at it saying, hey, I don't want to do that. And life shouting back at me, well, then get the fuck up here. I'm like, I can't. I'm frozen. What that caused me to do was make a ton of terrible decisions. And not even make the decision at all. Sometimes I just didn't make a decision. Not making a decision is making a decision. And that is how I live my life. I let life run me instead of me running my life. And that caused me to lose a marriage of 18 and a half years. I lost everything that I'd ever known. So LDL for me this year was a complete reset. Building from the ground up. Building that foundation. Speaking my truth. Telling my story. Because I have let all of these messages about myself stop me from living. I've been here, but I haven't been living. But not anymore. This is where I'm out saying, God loves you. God loves me. And not just me telling other people, hey, go do this, go do that. Hey, God loves you. God's got a plan for you. He's got a plan for me, and He loves me. And it starts with this video. It starts with me speaking my truth. And my story is crazy. There's lots of things in there with my lack of decisions and my lying and my cheating and all of these things. But I did that. I let that happen. But now I surrender. Now I'm taking my life back. Now I'm speaking my story. I'm going to be transparent. And I'm going to make the choice. I'm going to be the change. What choice are you going to make? What change do you want to see in your own life? And let's go build some fucking legacies together. Lions Den, you guys are amazing. I love you. And we've got a lot of work to do. And I'm excited for it. We'll see you.